as smart as he is on the basketball court, I think he's even dumber outside with the football takes. He may have this great feel, this innate feel on the basketball court. I don't know. Your football takes are absurd. Really, it's just awful stuff. Awful stuff.
I mean, I couldn't have said anything better last year.
Welcome to Why is Draymond Green Talking About Football, presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. I'm NFL insider Jordan Schultz. I'm joined, as always, by NBA champ and NFL super fan, Draymond Green. Dre, preseason's over. The camp is done. We are officially here. We made it to week one. How do you feel? How do you feel about your Steelers?
Listen, I feel great about my Steelers. I definitely having a Super Bowl this year. I'm just going to get it out the way right now. In my Super Bowl this year, I got the Rams coming out of the NFC.
Yeah.
I got the Steelers coming out of the AFC, and that's who we'll be meeting in the Super Bowl right here in San Francisco, California. And so that's how I'm kicking off the year with my Super Bowl picks. And by the way, how we kicking off the year today, we got Rams wide receiver joining us, Davante Adams. So locked in for that, man. We leading off the season with Tay. And them the Super Bowl picks. And if you think otherwise, if you would like to make any bets again this year, we will get into that.
I definitely do. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, Micah, your first reaction upon learning. Was it because of me, or did you already see it?
So the first thing I saw about this trade was you. And for those of you who don't know this, I called Jordan right away and said, yo, did you get hacked?
Oh, I forgot about that.
He's
yes.
like, no. He's like, no, I didn't get hacked. What are you talking about? I'm like, no, I just read that you said Micah got traded to the Packers. Did you get hacked? He's like, no, it's real. And so my first reaction was very much so that, because I just did not see, Green Bay is never in the field when it comes to paying the big bucks.
No.
That's just not a thing that Green Bay does. That's not what Green Bay is known for. They're not going to swipe free agents for the big bucks. Green Bay is
a small market
team. It's just not run like a typical NFL organization. And so I didn't necessarily think you were hacked because of Micah being traded, because we know Jerry's always going to do the wrong thing, which is why the Cowboys lose. But Packers. I thought you were hacked because it said Green Bay. That's just not what they do. That's not what they're known for. They do not spend the big bucks. And so, man, I am shocked by that move.
Yeah, there's so many layers to it, but let's start with the Green Bay element, which is they were in on Micah and have been for a while. The issue, or one of the big issues, was that Jerry felt that he had some type of handshake deal with Micah Parsons.
Which is ridiculous. And the second Micah then said, okay, talk to my agent, Jerry then went haywire, which is also ridiculous. And I think it's really indicative of the fact that they haven't been relevant from a winning-losing standpoint, winning in 3 decades. And Jerry is still operating at 82 years old like he's talking to Emmitt Smith or Michael Irvin or Troy Aikman. This is 2025. The agent is as important as the player, or more so when it comes to negotiations. And then the second part is, and I had the opportunity to spend some time with Micah before he reported a training camp, Draymond, and I knew something was wrong. I mean, he actually said in his press conference, this is the worst 4 months of my life. But he also said, I'm gonna show up to camp, I'm gonna try to be a good leader and do all the right things. And what happens the day that he shows up? Jerry not only criticizes him and talks about his lack of availability and the injuries, but then he calls him Michael Parsons. That should have been the telltale sign, the beginning of the end. Michael Parsons. Seriously, this is not a movie. This is real.
No, I mean that type of disrespect. But like that's who Jerry is, though. Like this is the same guy that landed his helicopter on the practice field during practice. Like, but I'm not surprised by any of those things, and I don't understand how or think anyone else is surprised by these things. Like we know that Jerry's going to be Jerry. Jerry's going to do Jerry things, and unfortunately, the team should be in a dump. Like the organization should be in a dump, but it's the Dallas Cowboys. So of course, they're the highest value team and all those things. They're America's team, but Jerry, man, Jerry just, I don't know.
Off his rocker, man.
What I will tell you is, number one, congrats to Micah. 4 years, $188 million, 136 guaranteed.
That's the number that really matters, the guaranteed money.
Absolutely. Our largest average per year non-quarterback deal ever. Well-deserved, happy as hell for Micah. And I say Micah.
Micah, because that's his name.
Micah, not Michael. I'm very happy for Micah. But I think for him now, though, like, you get your money, that's all great. But now the reality got to set in, man. You got to play in the frozen tundra. You're no longer playing at AT&T Stadium. You're not playing in the frozen tundra. That's a little different ball game here. Like,
but okay, so it'd be like if let's say you got traded to Cleveland or Oklahoma City, a small market team that is also a really good team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, actually, put yourself in that position. And you get paid, so you have that part, but you're adjusting from going from a huge market to. So how long does that take for you? And also, is it hard to start over after 4 years in one place?
Well, I mean, that was almost me 2 years ago, right? Like I was on my way to Memphis. That was happening. I was going to go, and so that would have been kind of the same situation. I think personally, the biggest adjustment that you have to make is life. And then possibly for some of these teams, like your overall everyday life as the NBA goes. Meaning, like I play for the Golden State Warriors, Joe Lacob, Peter Guber. We stay in the absolute best hotels. We go to the absolute best restaurants. Like we 5-star, 6-star, 7-star accommodations from an organization like the Golden State Warriors. Now you talk about say an organization like Memphis, not saying Memphis in general, but you smaller organizations like that, and you talk to a lot of guys around the league, and like they don't stay in the greatest hotels. If it's one more night in New York City, or go ahead and leave on and go to Philadelphia or Boston, they're gone because that's less money on the hotel price that night. And so there's decisions like that are made that aren't necessarily made in organizations like the Golden State Warriors or like the bigger market organizations. And so I'd imagine it takes a lot of adjusting to the city, all these different, I'd imagine it's a huge adjustment. Now, you look at Micah's situation, he has to make that adjustment going right into the season. Like week one, young guy, the only experience he's had living in a different city is going from Happy Valley to Dallas. And now he's got to make this huge, I think this first year for him is going to be tough. And the reason I think it's going to be tough, you got to find a home. You got to get accustomed to your everyday life. And he is going from Dallas to Green Bay, Wisconsin. So I think this first year on him, not from a play standpoint, because he is who he is, but I think this first year for him, I would not be shocked at the end of this first year, like you just mentioned with his last 4 months, if he comes out of this first year man, that was one of the worst years of my life. Because his life ain't figured out. Now you trying to figure out life, house, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. I think this year is going to be a very tough year for Micah, just making that adjustment and getting accustomed to a new scenery. Everyone thinks like, oh man, you just pay somebody and they come in and they get together and you're done. And where that could be true and you're paying the money, we all still want to make our own house a home. And so not having an opportunity to make your house a home, that plays a part into all of that. It's no way for Micah to have a clear mind going into this. Like,
what would you say to him to have a clear mind, or at least have a clearer mind? How does he get there?
Forget life. Don't worry about life. Go enjoy what you love doing most. Go enjoy playing football. Just go play football for 4 months. We'll figure out life after this. But don't worry about life. Go play football for 4 months. Kids, family, whatever that is. Right. You got if that's his situation, enjoy your family, obviously. Family may not even come, right? Like, that's a change like that. Like, if he has, so you just don't know. Forget all that other stuff. Just go enjoy doing what you love doing. Go play football. We'll figure everything else out later. I think that has to be his mindset. And I know it sounds cliche and everybody will say, well, that should be everybody's mindset. Let me tell you, no, it's not. We live life. Life continues to go on. Just like you go to work, we go to work. But just focus on football for 4.5 months. We'll figure your life out after these 4.5 months.
One of the things we love to do on this show is make outlandish predictions. Now, last year, you were incredibly bullish on Saquon. I think that was I don't know what you said exactly, but you had the prediction right. The best player in the league or offensive player of the year. You got that right. Who is Draymond Green's breakout player this season?
My breakout player, oh man, Saquon. I hit the.
You can't say him again though.
No. I said I'm just basking.
You know, you were really high on him, and I didn't realize.
That was a great pick.
Yeah, that was a great pick. You were all in. This year, I'll give you mine. Michael Penix.
I don't even know if I want to make it. Like, that was so spot on last year.
It was.
How do you make another prediction? That was so fucking. Michael Penix is yours.
Michael Penix and Drake London. That combo. That's going to be household name. Now, the one concern is they lost Caleb McGarry for the season. That's his blind side because he's a lefty. That's the right tackle. That is a problem. But Penix is going to throw the ball down the field. London's going to be a huge part of that. He's a big-bodied receiver who can run. He turns 50-50 balls into 80-20s. I just love him, and I love Penix. So that's my breakout candidate right there. Penix and obviously Drake.
All right, so can I pick two? And I'll tell you
for sure,
why.
because I just did two. Who do you like?
I'll tell you why I want to pick two. Brock Bowers. I think Brock Bowers is don't get me wrong, he had a great year last year.
He did.
But I think Brock Bowers is about to take off. And Pete Carroll's system. Pete Carroll.
Chip Kelly though, that's the key.
Chip, the thing Chip's going to do is Chip's going to move them all around. Like, Chip's
he's so creative.
Flank them outside. He's going to, move them to the slot. He's going to have him running tight end screen. Like, Chip's going to move him around like crazy, which I think is great for him. Geno is a very good quarterback, but Geno uses his tight ends. Geno is going to look for his tight ends. So I think Brock Bowers is about to have one of the most incredible years. And my next pick, no bias included on this. I actually felt this way before today. But my next pick is Davante Adams. And not that he's having a breakout year. I just think we're about to see him back at the top of his game. Like, last year, last couple of years getting traded mid-season, going to the Jets, worst organization in the NFL, complete shit show. You're talking to a guy who was in Green Bay that organization is ran properly. Like that, the organization is run properly. So it's quaint, a small thing. I think now with Davante going to the Rams, top of the line organization, one of the best coaches in the NFL, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I think with Puka on the other side, so like I said, it's going to be hard to just sit a safety over the top and say, hey, go stand there. Like, I think we're about to see Davante Adams have one of those type of years where he lead the league in receiving yards or receptions or receiving touchdown. And so, no, he's not about to be a breakout player. He's a 3-time first-team All-Pro. But I think we're about to see him have one of those first-team All-Pro years. That's
I love that pick. I actually love that pick. That's now I'm like, oh, I should have said Davante because. Well, actually, you know what? Let's parlay that into some very important predictions. Now, I like the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl plus 800. You like the Rams plus 2,000. So both pretty good odds, especially you. Is there a sleeper team that nobody's talking about that you feel like, you know what? I love the upside of this club. For example, like Chicago, I could see shocking the world. You know, Caleb Williams. I could see something like that happening where no one's really talking about them in the NFC North, and all of a sudden, you know, Caleb takes a huge step with Ben Johnson. Do you have a team like that?
I did not, and I'm not one to overreact, but I did not love what I saw from Caleb in the preseason.
He was good the preseason third game. That was he looked better then. But, yeah, I mean, this is a huge year for him.
It's a huge year. He already has the questions around, you know, his leadership abilities and all of those things. So I think this is an extremely big year for him. I don't quite think they're ready to figure it out, although I am a big Ben Johnson fan, which leads me to who I was going to pick anyway. I think Ben Johnson's a huge loss for the Lions. I really do. I think he did an incredible job there. He made Jared Goff look better than what Jared Goff is, in my opinion. In saying that, I think the Lions. And the reason I think the Lions is because they've been right there and just haven't been able to get over the hump. And the thirst when you've been right there and hunger to get there, but haven't been able to quite get over that hump, I think the Lions are going to have a really big year. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have a really big year. And so my sleeper would be the Detroit Lions. Like, I feel like they lost Aaron Glenn, they lost Ben Johnson, and no one's talking about them anymore. Like, they haven't just put together a couple great years back to back. And so my sleeper, I would say, would be the Detroit Lions. Plus 1,200.
Plus 1,200, yeah. Let's pull up the odds, yeah. Plus 1,200. I really like that. I probably would have said that, but I didn't know if they were quite a sleeper. I will tell you this. I spent the day at training camp with Detroit about 3 weeks ago, and great. Like, everything about that organization feels primed to really make a run here. It's not just Dan Campbell, though he's so impressive, but he was really effusive in his praise of the next steps that Jared Goff has taken post Ben Johnson. I think you're going to see a really dynamic offense because not only do you have J-Mo and St. Brown and the running backs, but also this kid Isaac Tesla, this third rounder out of Arkansas. They were raving about him. And then Denver was the one other team I would say really liked what I saw from them in the preseason. I think, Bo Nix quietly had a really good rookie year. And I spent some time there as well. And they're really high, obviously, on him, but they're also just loaded on defense. It might be the best defense in the league, not just Surtain, but across the board. Benito, 13.5 sacks last year. Really good front. They've added Hufanga, all-pro safety. So those are the other two. I think Denver, Detroit. I'm high on Cincinnati as well, but we got to see a better start to the season. We got to see a better start.
They definitely need a better start. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And speaking of sleepers, and I only say that I know you're very high on this guy, by the way. They're in such a shit division. Do you think the Carolina Panthers could possibly be a sleeper to have a good year? Not that they're going to win a Super Bowl.
Oh, I do.
But do you think they can be a sleeper to have a good year? You're very high on Bryce.
I love Bryce Young.
I know you do. That's your guy.
It's also the person.
Do you think they can be a sleeper?
I do, and I think you mentioned the division. There's a lot to be had in that division. And if you get off to a good start, their schedule was relatively their schedule's not bad. I'll say that because of where they finished last season. If you get off to a hot start, I think the key for them is Tedoroa McMillan because they're going to really rely on him, the rookie top 10 pick out of Arizona. They're going to rely on him to be a guy. And the comp for him coming out was like Mike Evans. You know, he's 6'5", he's like 220. He can really run. I think he's even more explosive. And Mike Evans is going to be a Hall of Famer. So a lot to me depends on a rookie receiver, which traditionally you don't love to do, but he's really special. So I like Carolina. Obviously, Bryce Young, you know, if you protect him, I thought last year he showed that he can be a guy. I also just love Bryce Young, the person. He's a leader. He's incredibly accurate. He's smart, but he is small, and size does matter. And if they don't protect him, that's going to be a problem. So I guess the long answer is yes, I do like Carolina, but I like Atlanta more.
All right, so you got Atlanta winning the
I have Atlanta winning. Yeah, I do have Atlanta winning the division. We talk strategy on this show, and there's no better strategy than having a solid backup plan. That's why Fanatics Sportsbook has the game day guarantee. Every single football game day until October with Fanatics Sportsbook. If your football bet loses, new customers get up to $100 in fan cash and can also bet $10 to get $100 in fan cash. No one likes losing, but with Fanatics, you're still winning fan cash. Make the switch and download Fanatics Sportsbook, where every game day comes with a guarantee. Fanatics Sportsbook.
Winning is different here.
Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. And Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Offer not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Sportsbook app.
Man, we are honored to have this next guest, to get a guest like this, one of the best football players in the NFL. Not this year, but for many years on end. 3-time first-team All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler, 2-time leader in receiving touchdowns in the NFL. And as we know, that's one of the best positions in the game. And to be that great, to do that thing over and over again, honored to have this next guest, Davante Adams. Tay, what's up, brother? I appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, you already know, bro. Appreciate you having me, man.
Absolutely, man. So, I mean, just getting right into it. New team, LA Rams, in the great city of LA. You've had the honor of playing with incredible quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, and now Matthew Stafford. What is it that makes Stafford special, and how has it been through training camp, getting to know your new quarterback?
It's been good, man. It's been good. It's obviously been a little bit of an unconventional offseason with him being, a little banged up coming into training camp. Us not being able to get the full deal. It helped having some of the offseason, reps that we did and OTAs and stuff like that because he was rolling in and we got a lot of good work. But, it was a little weird getting into starting training camp off first few weeks and then, not really knowing where his health was going to be, but just, praying that everything was going to be good with him, mainly for his own comfort and just for his life. And because, all of us that have played a long time understand how that feels, dealing with a lingering injury, something where, they're looking at it, maybe they're telling you it's okay. And, you like, all right, well, I'm telling you how I feel. I know I'm not feeling right. So mainly just wanted him to feel good, like I said, for him. And then obviously to get him back now. We just kind of picked up where we left off, man. He's a dog. Everything I seen, going against him when I was on the Packers and him being back, on the Lions and having those head-to-head battles, I didn't enjoy seeing him go to work as much as I do now, that's for sure. But being able to have somebody and work with somebody like him that going on 17 years and no fall off, continuing to, climb and, just recently won a Super Bowl. It's just a lot of good things pointing, in the direction of it making sense for me to be here. So I'm happy to be here and, be able to help out as much as I can.
Tay, one of the things you mentioned the Packers. I've always felt like Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers, just from an arm talent perspective, the way they can manipulate arm angles had a lot of similarities. Have you noticed that?
No, for sure. I think, it's hard to, when you think about a guy like Aaron Rodgers and his talent and ability to throw the football, it's hard to compare anybody to him. But when I think about, just like I said, being on the other side of that, watching that, I mean, it looked pretty similar the whole time. My chances of being able to compete against him, and similarly, not guys that are gonna be trying to go for 100 yards rushing a game and gonna take off using their legs all day, but just the ability and the smarts to know to kind of work within their body, extend plays, and just the play style, just that toughness and scramble drill, different things like that, where you can see a lot of similarities between the two for sure.
Man, I gotta ask this next question. Young fella who I'm a big fan of, and I love when guys respect the guys that came before them. And you look at Puka Nacua, your new teammate, for starters, gave up his number to you. And for me personally, I love that he did that because I think it's the right thing to do. Like, yes, you had your number. Yes, by law, you should keep that number. But now in being realistic, I know where that number should go. And I got the utmost respect for him for giving up that number. But what has it been like in, having a young, talented receiver in the receiver room this year with you? What's it going to be like playing next to him and knowing that, if they're going to double team you now, you got an option like that on the other side that you're going to. What's it been like mentoring a young guy like Puka and bringing him along under your wing?
Yeah, no, that's a good question because, I mean, when you're 12 years in with a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, you just praying that, a guy like me, I really enjoy the whole process, which is obviously, me learning, dissecting tape, dissecting DBs, finding out different ways to get open, understanding how to break certain leverages. There's a lot of different nuances to the game and to this position specifically. So with everything that I've learned, it would be a crying shame if I were to keep it all to myself and not be able to share that onto the next man, especially a young, able receiver like Puka or anybody other, any other receivers that we have even in the room, because we got a pretty deep room. It just wouldn't make sense to me, or it wouldn't make me feel good if I sheltered those and gatekeep releases, different ideas, different mental approaches I have as to why I do certain things. So to have somebody that's humble like him, I mean, it's really all I gotta pray for, to come into a new team, have a player of that magnitude. And like you said, with the number situation, I didn't expect him to give it up at all. It's one thing if a kid, hadn't done anything, but for him to come in, set the rookie record and kind of establish himself the way he did, I wasn't even expecting it. So it was just a huge, sign of respect. I know it was a 12 as a number he wore in college before, so kind of made sense for him to have a new number to go to that one, but he didn't have to do that. So to be able to do that for me, it just showed the amount of respect that he had for me. And it just makes me feel the need to want to pay it forward. And the way that I teach him, the way I mentor him, there's a friendship that we have that's, you typically maybe don't see the connection when it's 10 years apart in age, but him being a young, just super mature for his age too, it just helps me be a leader and, come into a room like that and just be able to shed as much as I know on those guys. So I appreciate guys like Puka, Jordan Whittington, X Smith. We got a lot of young dudes in that room that, Tutu Atwell, these dudes just kind of sit there. And I've been in a bunch of different leadership roles and, on my fourth team now. And I've seen it in different ways. And I can kind of tell when I speak up to these guys in the room, the attention that they have, their ears are standing up. You can see that they locked in a different type of way. And, that's all you can ask for as a leader.
What was that conversation like with the number? Did you actually have it, or he just offered it, Tay?
Bro, he gave up the number before I even spoke to him, before I even had a conversation. So I was in Japan actually out there on a trip with some of my guys, and I was getting a bunch of videos from Sean, and Sean was doing his best John Gruden impersonation. He's watching tape in his office, kind of sitting here like I am, recording the screen, just watching a bunch of clips with me at the Jets and narrating it, talking about everything that I did, gassing me up. It was the recruiting process, so kind of felt like I was going to college again. Yeah. But yeah, he going through looking at all the tape and he's showing me all the clips and Tay, I just love what you did here and this and that. So it was at that same period. I'm waking up at jet lagged like 2 a.m. looking at my phone, and I got a long video from Sean, 6.5 minutes, narrating my tape, and then I get a text from Puka, congrats 17, that we know appreciate you, and I'm like 17, and I go and look, and my agent had texted me and said that the kid gave up his number. First thing he did when he found out that you were gonna come to the team is he gave up the number, and he's going to 12. So you got your number, and at that point I already made up my mind I was gonna switch it up and everything. So. That's my hats off to him for being that type of dude, and I owe a lot to him just for making those type of moves.
Puka's a real one. That is no joke.
Yeah,
that is so dope, Dre.
He's
Dre,
real.
you're not giving your number up, Draymond.
I mean, let's see. If I go back to that situation of having the number 23. It's like one of the greats, like you got one of the greats walking in. Like if I was playing on a team and Bron come to that team and he won 23, like you give up to 23.
That's
but
real.
the difference,
but that's no small feat though. Like
but Puka 10 years younger.
Like, as players, your number is like your cape. You know what I'm saying? Like your number, you feel like Superman when you put your number on. So as players and mentally, you know what that means. That's such a big deal, man. I have the utmost respect for him for doing that.
Mind you, and this is something that just hit the net recently. So I'm gonna just give y'all a little correction of something that's out there right now. So I don't know, Jordan, if you've seen this, or Dre, if you've seen this, but somehow it got out of what had happened when I went to the Jets and what happened with that number situation. I don't know if you've seen that, but
I did.
So I had offered the kid. They put out something that was like half true. It wasn't all the way true. It was actually worse than what was listed. So basically, in a nutshell, I decide when I go there, the kid that they drafted, he was a rookie last year out of Western Kentucky.
Malachi Corley.
Malachi Corley, yeah. So he had 17, and I think when I got there, like week 6, week 7, whatever it was, he had only played, I think, like 4 plays, like total in that season. So I was totally unaware that anybody was even wearing a number. So when I get traded there, I get to talking to them, and I tell them, boom, I want to wear 17. So I don't want to go there empty-handed, and I'm going to look out for this kid once I find out. So I go there, I travel, I got a few things with me, but I made sure I bring a little wad for this kid, right? So I'm gonna look out. So I got two little 10 banders in my backpack, and I'm like, so I text him the night before I show up, and I say, hey man, I was at the facility today looking for you. You know, it's good to be teammates with you, whatever. I see you got 17. How about I give you 17 racks cash for 17? Like, I'm not just going to come in here and bogart and just steal it from you, rip it off your back. But I'm also not about to go buy, Rolex as a rookie. Like at the end of the day, I give you this 17K. You can figure out what you want to do with it. Maybe you could finesse and go get yourself a Rollie or something.
Yeah.
So he responds and he say, hey man, it's good to have you. Happy to have you on the squad or whatever, but I need $1 million.
Jesus Christ. Woo!
That what that boy told me. He said he need $1 million for the number. So I said, I don't know him at this point, so I'm kind of laughing. And mind you, I'm looking at it now. I'm not even mad at him. I'm just laughing, and we more making light of the situation now. But at the time, it was funny because I'm like, I don't really know him, and I'm thinking like, oh, he's joking. Clearly, it's just like a young rookie. He's just trying to throw a little slick shot out there, whatever. So I'm like, ha ha ha, like it's funny, but like I got to talk to the media tomorrow. They asking me what number I'm gonna wear, so I got to get this figured out tonight. Like I heard 14's open. He said, yeah, I'm dead ass serious, and 14 would look good on you, I think.
Oh my God! Oh, he did not. Oh,
wow!
Hey,
God.
Dre,
Malachi has got some moxie.
So it was funny.
Damn.
So it had me hot. Obviously, I was pissed, and now I'm laughing about it just because we didn't know each other or nothing, and we ended up having a good connection once things got rolling. But before I finish up that story, so we go out there that next day. Long story short, I got 17, and there was no exchange of money at all once that happened. So we that went back, and I went the route I needed to go to make it happen. The money stayed in my pocket because I felt disrespected at the time. I'm laughing about it now because it's funny now, but at the time I was like, 14 would look good on all that. I'm like, damn, okay. So I'm like, whatever. So I get in there, get 17. We go through that next day, have that practice. I go do what I do in practice, Dre. I don't mess around. It's a game every time I touch that field. So I go out there, grace the field after he come and dap me up. Good practice, 17. I was like, yeah, okay, that sound about right. That sound right.
He came to his senses.
He came to his senses, but yeah. So I got Puka giving up the number before I even speak to the man, and then I got Malachi on the other end who played 4 plays, decided he gonna tell me 14 to look good on me, and he need $1 million for 17. So that's the real story of it.
That's incredible. And
that is incredible. That's unbelievable.
You're not gonna say this, and you don't have to say this, but I'm gonna say it for you. And yet it's no surprise of why Puka could be a lower draft pick, turn into the player that he has become. Mm-hmm. And Malachi's cut from the team that drafted him 2 years ago and then got to go find a new home. Again, you ain't saying this is me saying this. Yeah. But it says a lot about the type of guy you're dealing with. You know, you got to have respect for the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always go back to the first day I started in the NBA, and it was due to injury. And then David Lee came back, and I just walked off the court when it was time for walkthrough. Steve had to tell me to come back on the court because that's just the respect you got to have for your OGs, man. The guys who came before you, there's a certain level of respect to be upheld. And 100%. For him, number 14 to look good on you is insane. That's insane. Bruh, come on,
bro. I swear, when I read it, mind you, I'm staying there the first week I get out there. I don't got a crib, and it's just happened middle of the season. So I'm staying with Aaron. So I'm sitting on Aaron's couch. We just watching ball, like looking at our iPads, watching tape from the, they previous practices, watching our old stuff, getting reacquainted with signals. And I'm sitting there just having a productive night. I'm thinking this cool. I just got into New York. And boom, I text this boy like, hey, I'm trying to get all this stuff in line. He said, yeah, I need $1 million, player. That 17K ain't gonna do it for me. It's cute, but it ain't gonna do it.
Tay, how did you fix it with him? How did it naturally or organically, you and Malachi eventually?
Yeah. Look, not to put too much out there, and personally, like talking to y'all off the air, I could really get into the nitty gritty, but in a nutshell, it was not smooth at the beginning. I'll say the first week it was a little weird because I did feel some type of way, and I'm already halfway a sensitive dude. I ain't gonna lie to you about it. So when I heard that, I'm like, and mind you, I didn't have to go that route. And I
right
here I'll say this. I felt really disrespected beyond what because unbeknownst to me, a week before I even get there, our receiver coach, Sean Jefferson, Van Jefferson's pops.
Yeah, his dad. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was our receiver coach. He is just like one of the realest dudes in the world. So what he did was sat down with the room probably like a week and a half before I even got there because the trade stuff was already floating around. The Jets was in the mix. I'm sure they were having staff meetings of this and that and saying, look, here's the deal. We might be bringing in Davante Adams. So he takes that knowledge and goes into the receiver room and don't want no surprises for the boys. So he said, look, I just want everybody to know we might be signing Davante Adams. And in the event that we do, he's going to be coming in. He's going to be probably, moving around, playing different spots. G, you probably going to be staying the X because you've been the X. And Tay knows all the positions. He's played this offense. So we're going to find a way to make everything work. Now, Malachi, he number 17. He's gonna wear 17 when he get here, just so you know. They had already sorted this out before that. So when I come in with the 20 bands, 17 bands, he should have just jumped on it then. And if he wanted to do some grimy, because he had already told Sean Jefferson that he was giving up the number, or basically Sean told him he was giving it up. So in his mind, it was already gone. So now he just trying to make some big bread off of me because I done offered up some money, and he thinking probably this gonna happen and ain't nobody gonna end up knowing about it. So he ended up knowing eventually, obviously, because of how it all went down, and he was in favor of me not giving up no money, based off the way everything kind of transpired. But it ended up kind of working itself out because we in the same room. Look, we play with each other. Like, At some point, the situation that Dre had going, that it wasn't going to be every single day you button heads with, the guy. Like, you're going to find a way to coexist. And I think it got to a point where I'm not going to sit here and, plus I got to hold on to 20 bands. So I was a little bit happy that it happened the way that it did. So, I was like, first week it was a little awkward, but then after that we kind of just continued to roll on about our business, and it was cool. And he's not a bad dude at all. I will say he just kind of had a little bonehead move he wanted to make there. Rookie mistake,
trying to get some bread, man. A couple more questions. I know this week one, you got to get back to the drawing board. But just moving forward on this journey, just in playing with the Rams, before we get totally into your next phase, I wanted to ask you a question that I've been wanting to ask for years, and I probably should ask you when I just saw you in Cabo. But 24 touchdowns, your final season in college, which is fucking.
Yeah.
And obviously, Derek Carr, best friend quarterback. You then go to the Raiders, play with your quarterback again, and it's not quite the same connection as it was at Fresno. How was that adjustment for you and y'all not quite finding the perfect timing that you had just left with Aaron? And you're going to a situation with Derek where the familiarity with the guy is there, the familiarity with the player is there from college, but not quite at this level. How was that adjustment for you, and still knowing like, dang, man, we may not be figuring it out to the level that you've always figured it out, but yet there's also that personal relationship, and that's my best friend. How was that transition and just that whole situation for you?
Well, make no mistake about it. I was a first team All-Pro in 22 that year with him. We didn't, as a team, we certainly did not figure it out. And I think when it comes down to all three phases, we had a really tough time that year putting it together, game in and game out. First 6 weeks of the season, I think we, every loss that we had, which was, I believe, 5 out of those 6 weeks was single digits, and only one of them was over a touchdown's worth of points. You know what I mean? We were just so close from being able to get over the hump, and we were able to be productive. I mean, it didn't look that way because so much of what we do is wins and losses. So at the end of the day, if you don't win the game, there's something to that. I agree with that. If I'm not doing enough, if we not winning the game, I totally get that. But at the end of the day, we still were able to be productive. I think we didn't start off. I think I guess the first week we did, we kind of lit it up, and then we had a few kind of down weeks, and there was some ups and downs, but when you talk about the productivity, that was still there. It was just a way of tying it into the W's we couldn't figure out. And I think that, like I said, football is the most team sport that there is. So that's why it's gratifying when it works. But then when it doesn't, it's so hard on you because you can only do so much, and as a lineman you can only do so much. You can't put the ball in the end zone. As a receiver, you can't hold up or you can't go and block a field goal when it's time, or it's just so many things that lead up to you having a great season. And like I said, we were able to still have a lot of fun and go out there and light up the scoreboard. And we were pretty efficient in the red zone. Had a lot of long touchdowns. It was some splash stuff that happened, because actually that year in 22, I had 9 touchdowns over 30 yards, and in my career in Green Bay, I think I had 5.
That's crazy.
Which is insane. With
crazy.
Especially with how many times I was able to visit the end zone. So it's such a weird year when you look back at it. It's it almost doesn't even make sense. That team right there was basically the same team as the Chiefs were last year, only they found a way to win those games at the end of in those critical moments versus being on the other side of it. And that's the difference of being a completely shitty team and being one of the best teams in the league. It's just if you write a W or an L at the end of the game.
And to make no mistake about it, you definitely led the league in touchdowns that year as well. So
no doubt. But like we say, you gotta figure out the whole thing, and you can go out there and ball out every time you touch the court. But if you ain't gonna be feeling the same way if you got an L and you got to get back on that plane and you going back home, back to the drawing board, and it was just so close, but no cigar. So if we would have figured out a few more of those, I think people would have looked at that season a lot different, but we didn't. So I guess it kind of is what it is.
No doubt.
Davante, I got so much joy out of watching the series on Netflix, the wide receiver series, just learning about the intricacies of the position, the amount of work that gets put in. It's not just, like I always talk to Draymond about this, the fans see the finished product, but that's only a small portion of it. But it wasn't just the football for me with you. It was really watching you as a father and husband. I thought it was so inspiring and so wonderful to see that. But as a football player and as a professional athlete, Draymond and I have talked about this a lot, you do have to be selfish sometimes, especially in season when you're getting your work in. How do you balance the two things? Because clearly you're a wonderful father and husband, but also football is a massive part of your daily life.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing for me, and I felt like having kids really just broadened my scope of what's really, or I guess technically it narrowed my scope of what's important and what truly matters. So for me, compartmentalizing has been like one of my biggest attributes in being able to separate. I feel like whatever it is that I'm currently doing, I get completely immersed in, and I'm totally and completely present in that. And then when it's time, to change gears, similarly, like in the off season, when I'm golfing, I'm doing my thing. Like I love golf, man. I love playing golf to the point where I almost enjoy the golf workout more than the football workout in the off season. The work is still gotten in regardless, but as far as the enjoyment for it in that moment, I almost enjoy playing golf sometimes more than I do working out for football. But once it's time to change gears, now we're in football mode, I don't even think about golf anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's all about where I need to be. I'm at where my feet are at all times. When I get home, in order to be the best version of me when I get to work, I'm not gonna sit at work like some fake tough dude trying to be at the job all day. I get in, I do what I gotta do. I'm gonna take care of my body. I'm gonna do everything that I have to do while I'm there. When I get home, I mean, obviously I have certain things. You get soft tissue work, get worked on and things like that at home. But I mean, like when it's time to get away from work, I come here and I'm completely present with my kids. There'll be times where I'm watching tape and stuff like that as they sit there and I'm playing with them. But that's still me being completely present with my kids. I don't got a million things in my head. It's work, it's golf, and it's my family, mixing in some travel in there. But Saquon actually asked me that after they won the Super Bowl. It was a few days after the bowl. He came down, played Shadow Creek with me in Vegas, and he said, like, what's the thing for you? Because I just need to know, like, how you 12 years in, still able to play the way you are, mentally,
right.
Everything sharp. And I just said, man, I know how to delegate my time well. And I don't have a million things going on in my head. I don't have a trillion hobbies. I got a few things that I'm into. I'm real consistent with that, and I give my all to whatever I'm currently in at the moment.
Oh, I love that so much.
Man, that's incredible. Speaking of Shadow Creek, I played Shadow Creek yesterday. Oh, just so you know, I'm on the links now too.
Oh, you out there?
I'm out there. I got
stinks.
fitted for my clubs. I'm ready to go. By next off season, I'll beat you. That's how we rolling, So
hey,
just so you know.
All right. Hey, look, I'm gonna be right after we get because I'm coming with you out there to the court. Whatever gym you be going to out there, we're gonna go hit the court.
Absolutely.
Tay, who's your NBA comps? Tay, who's your NBA comps? If I had to say, who
I'll probably say Donovan Mitchell.
Wow.
That's strong.
That's strong.
That's my comp. Like in my mind, like I ain't say I'm as good as him. I'm on my level. That's who I think I play.
Intramural
like.
Tay.
That's who I think I play like. I can still get up there and throw it down with the best of them though. They somehow think that the bounce that went away is still there. I ain't really out there hooping full go like how I used to, but it's still in there. That's for sure.
That's strong, Dre, because Donovan Mitchell, he's tough.
He's tough. I'll say my bag ain't what it used to be because I ain't playing as much. So I don't know if my bag is where his is, but play style, being able to shoot the ball, being able to attack the rim, like that's really my bread and butter.
Man, that's fire. Now I saw your locker in the locker room. I said, "Oh man, check him out."
Yeah,
you know, that course is incredible. Tay, man, we can't thank you enough, brother, for coming on. Bay Area, growing up in the Bay Area, being a Raiders fan, having the opportunity to do that, but also just for y'all out there, just so y'all know, real Dub fan right here. I bumped into Tay on vacation last month, a couple months ago. Bumped into him. He didn't know I was there. I didn't know he was there. And he was walking around in the KD Golden State Warriors. So y'all know.
You know, KD, my dog. Hold on, let me see. What we might have something. Let me see. They ain't even seen this one.
Oh, there it is. That
is so tough.
And if we don't want the blue, we can go ahead and go with the all black. You see them?
You know, that's heat.
Come on now, hold on, Dre. Hold on, Dre. You know what that is?
Oh, absolutely, most definitely.
Come on now,
unreal, bro. That is unreal.
Yeah, real Warriors fan, man.
He's a real Warriors fan.
Man, we can't thank you enough, brother. Good luck this year. You know, I'll be tapping in with you. I'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
Y'all are my dark horse to win the Super Bowl, so go get it done. Not even dark. It ain't even dark. Y'all are
I was gonna say
picks. Y'all my pick to win the Super Bowl.
So.
That's what I think is happening this year. You and Stafford together. I got it. And by the way, we need to get Aaron Donald out of retirement. Come on, man. Go back.
Yeah.
I'm already working on it. I'm already working on it for sure. Definitely. Appreciate you, brother.
No doubt, Tay.
Thank you, Tay.
Bro.
Yes, sir.
So it's now time for our picks and parlays presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. Let's start with our parlay, a three-way for our featured game, Chiefs vs. Chargers in Brazil on Friday night. Now, we're recording this on a Tuesday, so all lines are up to date as of today, Tuesday, September 2nd. All right, Dre, so here's what I'm thinking for Friday night. I like KC -3.5. I know you like the Bolts, but I think we're in agreement on the next two. We both like Patty Mahomes over 1.5 passing tuds, and we like Justin Herbert under 235.5 yards passing.
Kansas City at -3.5.
This is a Brazil game, by the way. So no home field. It's in Brazil.
100%. Kansas City -3.5. I like it, except Kansas City never covers. Number one.
Last year they didn't cover.
Patty Mahomes is too smart for his own good. He's so good and just great and all of the things that he gonna hold the ball. And so if they're up 3, like there's no other chance. Like Patty's doing what Patty does. And so I like the Chargers.
You like the Chargers?
Plus 3.5. I just think you're in Brazil. Field conditions aren't great. I think that's more suitable for the Chargers because they're just running. They're going.
It's a running team.
They're going to run. That's what Harbaugh does. And so I just think ultimately that plays more into their hands. I think Chiefs are going to have a great year, but I got the Chargers plus 3.5. I got Patty Mahomes over 1.5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And I am taking the under on Justin Herbert.
Yeah. If you're looking for a fantasy sleeper this year, Omarion Hampton, rookie out of North Carolina, really like him a lot. Can catch the football, legit 3-down back. But that leads us to our final play of the day. This is our pick 4. Now, last year we did every game. We're going to pick our favorite 4 of the week each week here on Why is Draymond Green Talking About Football, presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. Giants at Washington. Dre, Washington is a 6-point favorite. Who do you like?
Easy money.
Washington
-6. Easy money.
What week this year is Jackson Dart starting? Is it week 4, week 8?
I don't see it happening too early. I think you got proven quarterback play, respected.
It'll happen.
And I think Russ, will put together enough. I think it happens, but I don't think it happens till week 10 or 11.
Okay.
Matt.
Yeah.
At the soonest, I think week 10 or 11.
Okay, Miami at Indy. This is essentially a pick. Indy's a half-point favorite. I picked this game because I just spent, shameless plug, Schultz Report, my new show on YouTube, which is on this channel. I just spent some time with Daniel Jones last week in Indianapolis. And it's the most relaxed I've ever seen him, and I spent a lot of time with him. And I think getting away from a media market like New York is going to do wonders for him. They have good weapons. They have a good offensive line. And there's a lot of question marks about the Dolphins this year, just in general. So I'm going to go Colts minus 0.5 at home.
Well, so check this out. If you're Daniel Jones and you're leaving the New York media, you would definitely be more relaxed. There's no pressure to win in Indianapolis.
Right.
It just isn't. But remind me, was you showing up at Indianapolis Colts training camp, was that the day that you did your best Stephen A. impression, getting out the car and like recording yourself walking in? Was that the camp you was showing up to, right?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. This guy that does his best Stephen A. impression. Y'all know
I did.
Stephen A. walk into the game. Jordan Schultz did that.
I did.
Training camp. So
I did.
Just wanted to put that out there for y'all. And by the way, I hit him right away and said, "Whoa,
yeah."
You doing your Stephen A.?"
You were essentially telling me that I was being way too extra. It was an embarrassing effort. I got out of the car. I did the whole, hey, camera's there.
Stage someone with the camera getting out of the car.
Yeah.
You
said,
okay.
I think you might have just texted, whoa. I don't even, it might have been all you said.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw it. Listen, I'm going with the better quarterback here. Daniel Jones, by the way, what I was getting at is Daniel Jones stinks. I don't care how relaxed he is.
You've hated this guy for years.
He stinks. He's bad. It's the reason he played quarterback at Duke. Okay? No one knows but Tua play quarterback. It's the reason he played quarterback at Duke.
What about Tua? I mean, are we trusting him? Come on.
The best quarterback position at Duke is the point guard on the basketball team. It's not quarterback. Tua is far above Daniel Jones.
Tua's a good player, but it's the health. It's always the health.
Of course, but it's week one. And we can't be too unhealthy going into week one.
All right, so you like the fish.
I'm taking the fans, baby. I got to take the fans.
All right, so Pittsburgh, 3-point favorite at the Jets. I know you're picking the Steelers.
As are you. You're not picking the Jets. And Aaron Rodgers coming back to
I'm gonna go Pittsburgh.
Crazy?
I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. Yeah, I'm
curious.
They
pissed Aaron Rodgers off last year. You crazy? Oh
my
God! Watch out.
I'm gonna go Pittsburgh.
Vintage A-Rod, 300 yards in the air, 3 touchdowns, no picks.
Oh, I don't see that happening.
All right, well,
but I think he'll play. Yeah, I think he'll play well.
Fanatics Sportsbook, parlay that one.
Yeah, parlay that. All right, and then maybe the best game of the day: Baltimore at Buffalo. This is a Monday night game, I believe. Baltimore is this is a rematch of the divisional. Baltimore is actually favored, half a point, and I'm going to go Buffalo at home. I was shocked to see that the Ravens were favored on the road. Shocked.
I'm going Baltimore, and I'll tell you why I'm going Baltimore. Snow don't matter in this game, baby. Lamar get to be Lamar. Watch out.
It's that beautiful Orchard Park. It'll be like 71 degrees. It'll be perfect weather. But it doesn't matter for Josh Allen either, bro.
Yeah, but Josh Allen ain't better than Lamar.
Oh, remember last year when you said Josh Allen, he's not the guy.
Josh Allen's not the guy. He's not the guy.
How?
I disagree. He's not the guy. By the way, they gave him Lamar's MVP award last year. He's not the guy. He's not the guy. Josh Allen.
What would you need to see from Josh Allen to say, you know what, I'm wrong about this. He's really good.
Stop losing to Patrick Mahomes. You can't be the guy.
Everybody loses to Mahomes. Everybody's lost to him.
Except
Burrow,
he didn't win the
Hurts,
Super Bowl last
Allen,
year. Jalen
Lamar.
Hurts beat him last year for the Super Bowl, no?
But I'm saying everyone, all these great quarterbacks, whether it's Burrow, Hurts, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson,
beat
Lamar,
Patty before, no?
Yeah, but all these guys have lost to him.
Of course, everyone.
My point is, even if you don't think Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the league, he's definitely one of the best 3 or 4.
That's you. Let's see, best 3 or 4.
Lamar, Burrow, Mahomes.
So he's
Allen.
not 3. He's not 3.
Fine, put him 4.
That's cute.
You can't put him lower than 4. There's some really, really good quarterbacks, but I think
Of
Allen
talent
has to be.
or guys you want on your team, because I'm for sure.
No, guys you want on your team.
Oh,
I love Jalen Hurts. I love Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, Josh. Again, so what are we valuing? I'll take Jalen Hurts. Josh Allen's not the guy, man. You're gonna die on that hill, and that's just what you've shown. He's not the guy.
That's what I've shown. I have shown the ability to die on a hill. The proverbial hill I always die on.
Listen, Josh Allen gives Buffalo Bills fans nightmares. They wake up with cold sweats. You know why?
They love him.
You know why? Because they see Jim Kelly all over again. You can't get it done. You just can't get it done. Don't tell me you're the guy and you can't get it done. You're not the guy. You can't get it done. You're not the guy. Period.
With that, every Thursday, we're dropping a new ep. Why is Draymond Green talking about football? Well, this is why. Because he's got outlandish takes. He as smart as he is on the basketball court, I think he's even dumber outside with the football takes. He may have this great feel, this innate feel on the basketball court. I don't know. Your football takes are absurd. Really, it's just awful stuff. Awful stuff.
Except everyone thought Saquon was like moseying on out of the Giants and nothing.
No, I was high on Saquon, but you, to your credit, you nailed that one. You did. That was all you.
I mean, I couldn't have said anything better last year.
No, I don't know if we have that old tape, but
and guess
you
what?
basically
Even
said.
Y'all said it was an outlandish take then. I mean, somebody, I said he was going to be MVP of the league. By the way.
A broken clock is right twice
by the
a
way,
day. Every dog has its day.
He's in a league where they're always going to value the quarterback more, blah, so he doesn't get MVP. But by all means, Saquon definitely could have been MVP of the league.
He definitely could have, yeah.
So those are my outlandish takes.
Yeah.
How outlandish are they? But we're back. We're here.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm back with? Talking football with Jordan Schultz. Season 2, episode 1. That is a wrap from this episode. But stay locked in. Trust me. We got more heat coming from you. We got more bold predictions. We got more great guests. So make sure you all stay locked in. We going all season.
We'll be back next Thursday with another massive episode. In the meantime, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Follow us wherever you get your podcasts and download the Fanatics Sportsbook app so you can ride with us all season long.